Where are these artists that turned down Jay-Z's Rock Nation? That's the best decision they could have made. I hate this nigga Jay-Z. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've always hated this nigga since I was a jit, bro. He just so ugly. Like, I don't know, bro. I just hated this nigga.
Billionaire on accident. However, many people believe that reaching that level of wealth often comes with a few skeletons in the closet. Recently, the high-profile prosecution of his longtime friend Diddy has put Jay-Z's past business dealings and industry interactions under intense global scrutiny. This has led many to ask, what happened to the artist who rejected Rock Nation? And it's not just his well-documented conflicts with figures like his former partner Dame Dash or R. Kelly being brought back into the spotlight. Because
he had mad collab albums with R. Kelly too. That's so crazy. This nigga, every nigga that this nigga's connected to be doing some nutty booty ass shit. So I don't know.
Now, people are looking at the amount of people who refuse to sign with Rock Nation only to see their careers falter in the aftermath. Or, in the worst case scenario, they even lost their lives. It's your boy Luesta, and this is what happens when you say no to Rock Nation. Among the biggest earning entertainment companies in the world today, Rock Nation has grown at a rapid rate. Since their initial founding in 2008, they developed one of the most impressive rosters in music management while dropping albums from the likes of J. Cole, Rihanna, and of course, Jay-Z himself. While they have their critics, they are always praised by those who roll with them, including female hip-hop superstar Megan Thee Stallion. After signing to the company in 2019, the self-declared hot girl coach has always saluted Hove and the team, including its CEO, Desiree Perez.
It just felt like I was in the right spot. Like I said, I was manifesting a lot of stuff for myself. Never did I ever think that I was actually going to be managed by the people that I looked up to. It just felt like a big family. They're just so intelligent. Like, they've been through everything. They still going through it right now, but they just know how to carry it. And I'm learning from the best. I feel like I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right position. I ain't never felt so like safe in a situation where I feel like these people got my back, and I just see how much they grind and how much they hustle and how much they let all the talk and whatever else people gotta say just roll off their back. I'll call Jay or Des. Des is the woman who really run shit at Rock Nation. And I'll be like, they saying this about me, they got me fucked up now. And they'll be somewhere on the island like, why you even care about that? They tripping, like.
And while that's exactly what Megan would want to have in her corner, there are rumors that the label flexed this power to make life very difficult for a man who was not just an enemy of hers, but a man who had turned down the opportunity to sign with them. Back in 2020, Tory Lanez was on a high when he attended the Rock Nation brunch. In May of that year, he had managed to free himself from his label at the same time that he had reached the peak of his commercial success. So when he pulled up to the famed annual event, he made quite a splash alongside none other than Megan. He seemed to hint that he was being courted by major labels such as Rock Nation. To be 100%, there's so many labels offering me so much money, like millions of dollars, he said. I've gotten offers that are life-changing, but I don't care. I already own my masters in publishing and everything, so I don't see any reason to give that to somebody else. But no shorter than 2 months after he was turning down these major deals, Tory's life would fall apart. On the night of July 12th, 2020, Los Angeles Police Department officers from the Hollywood Division responded to a call regarding shots fired at around 4:30 a.m. Lanez was pulled over and arrested for carrying a concealed firearm in his vehicle. Meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion, who was present during the arrest, was taken to the hospital because of a foot injury. According to them, Lanez caused great bodily injury to Megan. From there, a bitter legal battle ensued, which I've talked about at length in other videos. But why this is relevant is because throughout the course of the legal process, which would eventually lead to Tory getting a 10-year sentence, he insisted that Rock Nation was trying to prevent him from telling his side of the story.
Bro, when did this little Indian nigga start dressing like this? This nigga on fat ass glasses with an LA cap. Who is he feeling like, bro?
Otherwise, there would be consequences.
2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. I'm like, okay, I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever. It's like, I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, the TMZ report come out.
This wasn't even the only time that Tory alluded to this. On the track Sorry But I Had To from 2020's Daystar, Tory referenced the incident as well as his own business dealings with Jay's company. I made too much money with Rock Nation for them to be thinking I can't correlate the fact that it's only rappers out your roster hating. Contemplating these thoughts in my head, like, how the fuck you calling me threatening me not to make no statements? On another track entitled Bittersweet from that same project, he went at Hove directly. and insinuated that he was hurt, while also taking shots at the company's legal team, including Jill Scott. It hurt to say them words about Roc Nation management, cause Jigga whole career, I've been a fan of it, and I'm just pissed about the way they handled it. I worked for this for years, and out of nowhere, here comes Jill trying to come smear campaign and damage it. Although he was eventually found guilty, the notion that Roc Nation was somehow involved has persisted, as his father took up the fight. In an emotional speech outside the courthouse, his dad said that Jay-Z and others ought to be ashamed of themselves.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Even from behind bars, Tory's insistence that Roc Nation interfered will not subside. Most recently, it was the churn of his own legal counsel, Sean Hawley, who he believes had a prior relationship with Roc Nation before becoming his lawyer. In his complaint, he called for her to face disciplinary action over what he described as serious ethics breaches, and demanded a refund of the hundreds of thousands of dollars he had paid her. This followed allegations that she instructed a DNA expert not to conduct tests on the gun involved, and abruptly withdrew from Lane's defense just 5 days before his guilty verdict, despite being paid nearly $300,000. In addition to his quest to take down Hawley, he also spoke out against Desiree Perez, CEO of Roc Nation, who he believed played a role in assisting Megan with her statements to the police regarding the 2020 shooting incident. At the moment, Tory isn't eligible for parole until 2029. But if how he feels at the moment doesn't change by the time he gets out, you can bet he'll be coming out Roc Nation's next on tracks and IG lives as soon as he's out. Well,
nigga, ain't nobody gonna be worried about that shit in 2020 fucking 9, nigga. I'm gonna keep it a band. That shit gonna be in the wind, nigga. Nobody's gonna give a fuck.
Tory has hopes of turning his life around in time. Not everyone that previously turned down Roc Nation is so lucky.
That's 4
because
years,
for a rapper who went by the name of Young Dolph, his time was tragically cut short. Allegedly.
Possibly
a mainstay of Memphis hip-hop, Young Dolph was a hugely talented—
yeah, that nigga Dolph had a gun on him.
Short. Allegedly. A mainstay of Memphis hip-hop—
hold on. It was like he pregnant, nigga. Damn.
Young Dolph was a hugely talented rapper that delivered anthems for the streets over the course of a 13-year plus career. And if you don't know anything about Dolph, you know he's a rapper who retained his independence at all costs, regularly shutting down rumors that he'd signed to labels that were trying to court him. For the last fucking time, I am not signed with nobody and never have been. Been independent my entire career. The leader of his own paper route empire, Dolph may have gotten cosigns, but he never had another boss other than himself for the entirety of his career.
It was just because of everything, bro. You just don't know. Bro, people tell me Dolph signed with Grand Hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never been signed to Grand Hustle. That's my dog. Like, shout out to T.I. That's another nigga, like, I salute, respect in the game. Dolph signed to CMG, Yo Gotti. No, I ain't signed to CMG. And the most out of all of them, Dolph signed to Brick Squad. No, you know what I'm saying? Gucci, that's my dog. That's my trap brother. I mess with him. You feel me? Like, he showed me a lot of love, so I showed him love back. Where I come from, man, anybody show you love, man, and show you that they want to see you win. You can't do nothing but embrace that. Show them the same love. You rock with them like they rock with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But, come on, it's just like I said, man. I was playing a quarter ticket before I ever met Gucci, man. And I met Gucci, man, way before people were talking about this. Oh, Dolph signed with Brick Squad, signed with Brick Squad. So, come on, man. That's old.
But there was a time where he did strongly consider signing to a label. And going on the strength of the clues he provided, it seems obvious that it was with The Rock. In various interviews after it went down, Dolph alluded to how he turned down a life-changing sum of money.
Man, I got myself in a fucked up ass situation, dog. I don't know what the fuck to do, dog. Nah, I mean, really tell you the truth, I do know. Let y'all know what's going on. Bro, for the last 6 months, I've been having a motherfucking $22 million contract debating on shit I do the deal or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, should I take the 22 million or fuck the 22 million?
Fuck the 22 million.
Fuck the 22 million.
Although he eventually decided to stay on his own grind, it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision.
I turned down that 22 M's, you know what I mean? Well, I went to my lawyer office. We talked, we go over it. We had been going over it for like the past
2 weeks.
No, about 4 months.
Oh, all right.
The deal was good though. I'm talking about on paper. We went over. It was what I had wanted. Like the structure of it, the whole. It was like, I'm gonna do it, and like shit.
Was it a joint venture 50-50 split? How was it?
Yes. You know what I mean? But when I signed it, I'm at my lawyer office. I'm like, let me go and sign it so she can send it back. Bro, I leave, pull her right back up, go right back up to her office, get the contract to fold and tell her, fuck that shit, I don't want to do that shit.
In the end, he let them down, but insisted that it was nothing personal. Instead, Dolph made the decision to bide his time instead of taking the lump sum and cutting another party in.
It wasn't even no hard feelings, it wasn't nothing against them or none. It's like, I stand on this shit. I stamped this shit. A lot of people talk this shit. I stand on this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like it didn't. Like, okay, 22 million. What's the difference between you getting that 22 million at one time and you getting it over a 12-month span of time to an 18-month span of time?
Right.
That's true.
What's the fucking difference?
Right.
What you finna do with it?
By August of 2020, Dolph was dominating his own wave. Alongside his own projects popping off and Rich Slave becoming his highest charting album by peaking at number 4, he was beginning to make his way as a real label boss with Paper Route Empire too. But this would all be brought to a tragic halt in 2021 when he was gunned down in front of a Memphis cookie shop. The news broke the hearts of hip-hop fans all over the world and left his family and friends to pick up the pieces of what he was building. But what people didn't expect is that as posthumous tracks began to seep out, Dolph would actually mention his dealings with Roc Nation and his desire for a hoe feature too. Showing up, Plain Jane Rolex had a meeting with Roc Nation, but they got about 4, 5, 6 rappers over there that be hating. But I still fuck with Jigga. Tell him I got 2 million for him to do a verse, and if he don't, I still got love for him. In these bars, Dolph suggests that the reason why he didn't sign with Roc Nation is on the account of the fact that he had enemies on the roster. And now, the brother of someone who is on the Roc Nation roster has actually been cited as the man who put the hit out on Dolph, which just makes the whole thing seem to connect full circle. Again, this is not like 100% true, but it's really interesting. When defendant Cornelius Smith took to the stand to expose what really went down on the day of Dolph's killing, he provided the motive for the crime.
What the fuck, bro? Like, what is this weak? Damn, fat nigga. What is this weak ass music though, bro? Like, cut this shit out, gang.
By stating that Yo Gotti's brother, Big Juke, who had since passed on too, greenlit the killing. In response, Shelby County Assistant District Attorney Paul Hagerman declared that Big Juke, the person I told you about before, the number 2 guy at CMG, he put out a hit, 100,000 to whoever kills Dolph. He met with Justin, he has met with Cornelius, and they think they're ready to do it. Considering that Dolph and Gotti were in a feud for years that could merit an entire video of its own, it's no surprise that the PRE leader felt a way about Jay standing by Gotti. But now, things look like they might get really complicated. It's about to get dicey, since he said Juke put out the hit. If they can trace the payment back to anything related to Gotti, he might be in some shit. While Gotti probably isn't complaining, getting concrete evidence to say that he specifically asked for it is probably not going to happen. If they'd gotten Dolph on the roster, Roc Nation would have had one of the biggest names in the South at their disposal and would certainly reap the rewards. But that wasn't the only cultural leader that they were after who has since passed on. Because for a while, they were after the signature of a man who had the youth hanging on his every word. From the outset of his career, XXXTentacion was an individual who captured the public's imagination. On early tracks like Look at Me, the Floridian rapper laid out the blueprint.
R.I.P. that nigga. That was one of my goats. His music aged like ass, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but that was one of my goals back in the day.
For a whole new approach to the game, which fascinated everyone who encountered it. So much so that labels were ready to immediately overlook the fact that he was in jail and facing domestic abuse charges, eagerly reaching out to gauge interest in signing him, including none other than Roc Nation. In an interview after the fact, a former roommate of Roc Nation revealed that while he was locked up, they reached out to try and get him to sign a deal.
I was on the phone with Roc Nation, and I was on a fucking call with AR from Roc Nation. This nigga was like, yo, we trying to sign X, and I remember like talking to X, fucking phone calls from jail with the people that's like calling him to make deals with him, trying to sign him to, you know, wherever, trying to sign him to a label. I was on the phone with Roc Nation. He was like, yo, we're trying to sign X. And that was like one of the biggest deal offerings that he had. So I was trying to get him on the phone. And X was
For a lot of people, this would have been a golden opportunity. But for an artist like X, this wasn't feasible for him, as taking the deal meant sacrificing his vision or his masters.
X didn't want to sign with nobody. He felt like his ass is too good, and that's okay. As an artist, you're definitely entitled to feel like that, because if you don't want to be tied down to no damn record label and you got to do what you got to do for them, you want to do what you got to do for yourself, you're entitled to do that for yourself. So I could understand that. He was like, y'all don't want to sign, but I was like, damn, this is a big ass deal.
Over time, XXXTentacion stayed on his independent grind and eventually signed a distribution deal with Empire, which was worth millions. However, there's no telling how big that bag could have been if he took Hove's offer on board. Still, it seems like this was an instance where Jay understood. For starters, it's believed that he prevented Vic Mensa, who called him an abuser during what has now become one of the most controversial freestyles, from dissing X while the rapper was still alive.
I was dissing another rapper really for no reason. Wow. And that really just kind of shifted my perspective on it. And I'm like, I don't need to be tearing down another young black man, regardless of if I like the music or not. It's like we have so much opposition outside of our community trying to eat off.
That nigga was always clout chasing. He was always dissing somebody or doing some weird shit. This nigga fell off. I ain't gonna lie.
Of us and parasites just trying to feed off of our energy.
I ain't heard about bro
there's no need for us to be tearing each other down. We gotta be more unified than that.
As you probably know by now, XXXTentacion would sadly be killed in his hometown during a robbery outside a motorsports dealership. Once again, the world was left in shock. And this time, Jay-Z referenced his outrage over what happened to X within his feature on Drake's Talk Up in 2018. I got your president tweeting, I won't even meet with him. Y'all killed X and let Zimmerman live. Streets are done. As the news that Roc Nation wanted to sign him emerged, fans had an interesting response to it. Because for some people, they felt like it could have preserved his life by relocating him out of his hometown. And sadly, there's no way of knowing how things could have played out. Meanwhile, other rappers who turned down Roc Nation have seen their attempts to cross over into the US market.
Whatever happened was gonna happen regardless, I feel like. At least it was time. R.I.P. that nigga, but it was time.
Stall. Just look at the case of Nasty C. Ever since he first emerged, South Africa's Nasty C has been killing it in his home nation ever since his mixtape days. Despite never landing on the US charts, he became renowned to the extent that he secured features from the likes of Benny the Butcher, French Montana, Lil Keed, Ari Lennox, T.I., and many more. But while this is impressive for him to have managed under his own steam, he could have had the Roc Nation checkbook behind him. Back in 2016, rumors were swirling around that he was in talks with Roc Nation to come aboard their team. But rather than just say no, Nasty decided to blow the whistle on how they deal with their signees. I don't want an average Roc Nation contract, he said. I don't want a set standard record deal. I want something different. I've seen the language they use in contracts and I've seen enough people get blindsided, so I'm cautious about contracts. Maybe I've just got my guard up. While it's unclear exactly what went down, Nasty C speculated that he was warned by 50 Cent, who became somewhat of a mentor to him, to stay away from Hove and Diddy.
It wasn't even that deep. No,
stay away from Hove and Diddy.
We just spoke about regular shit. Cars, jewelry, life, niggas being fake, bitches, all that type of shit.
Niggas being fake? Who be fake?
A lot of people.
Rather than take the offer that was on the table, Nasty C decided to stick to his guns. But it might have had unintended consequences. Because now, his supporters point to the fact that he rejected Roc Nation as the reason why he never broke through. And that's one of the main reasons why Nasty C hasn't won a Grammy Award. That's why things are not easy for him overseas. Through Nasty C...
So they think if he would have signed to Roc Nation, he would have just got handed a Grammy, nigga. Like, come on, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Niggas be dick riding that nigga Jay-Z, bro. That nigga not all that, bro. I'm keeping it a buck. Roc Nation would not have got this nigga a Grammy. Okay, he would have broke over here. That's true, because if you sign to Roc Nation, that's the U.S. company, so they would have broke you through in the U.S. as well, but... He's not winning a Grammy just off signing to a fucking label, nigga. Come on.
We get a sense that sometimes people take a look at the contract and immediately run the other way. And as it turns out, he's really not the only one. Among the legends of the Bay Area, Oakland's Filthy Rich had a massive amount of momentum at one stage and has dropped a truly prolific amount of music over the years. More impressively, he did it all independently, and this ensured that he managed to keep every cent of his earnings to himself. And Roc
Baby M got money, I appreciate the follow.
Nation took note of his success to the point that they tried to sign him. However, Filthy immediately said no because they wanted to get their hands on music that they wanted nothing to do with and basically tried to sign him to a 360.
They wanted to do a deal with me with Roc Nation, but they wanted all my back catalog. It's damn near a 360 deal. I'm like, no, we could start from here because they was trying to say that they was gonna bring, this was the management side, that they was gonna bring the labels and these placements and these looks and all this bigger shit. That's the only thing I've never done is sign a major deal. So I was with it for like an album or something to see how it worked. And then You know, they didn't want to do it that way. They wanted to do it this way. They want a piece of touring and merch and everything. So luckily I didn't do it because right after that, the pandemic hit. So it wasn't even no touring. So if I'd have signed that, they would have just been getting paid off my back catalog that they had nothing to do with. And I wouldn't ever been got paid for no shows because I wouldn't be able to do nothing. So luckily I didn't. You get what I'm saying?
Shockingly, he's not alone in this either, because Sauce Walka has a very similar story. The Texas-based rapper had a major come up in the mid-2010s, dropping tape after tape via his own Sauce Factory imprint. Similar to the approach with Filthy, Roc Nation set their sights on the Haitian rapper, but their demands for a larger share of his earnings were more than what he was willing to agree to.
Jay had his people reach out to me, and you know, we all got on the call and shit, and we all talked about it, and you know what I'm saying, and they sent me over some contracts, and with Roc Nation it was a cool deal. It was a $5 million management deal, but they still wanted ownership with the catalog too, though. They just didn't want to strictly do management and touring and shows and like other sorts of publishing, like that type of revenue without the catalog. They wanted my entire catalog to be moved over and whoopty wham. That's just something that I always never been comfortable with because I'm an artist that came in guns swinging. So I recorded a lot of albums every year that I released.
Since then, Sauce's career has had its fair share of ups and downs, including a whole succession of legal issues. Despite this, one of the drippiest rappers to ever live insists that he's always getting money regardless.
You know, then we got the corporate stakes right here. You know,
one of the drippiest rappers to ever live. Yo, pack this Indian nigga up, bro. The Indian nigga that be making these videos, pack this nigga up, bro. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, bro, this is what this nigga look like. I'm gonna just show you what he look like real quick. This is the nigga saying all this. I want y'all to keep that in mind when he says shit like this.
A lot of albums every year.
A whole succession of legal issues. Despite this, one of the drippiest rappers to ever live insists that he's always getting money regardless.
You know, then we got the corporate stakes right here. You know,
it's Indian nigga, bro.
We got
drippiest rapper alive.
50s, you know what I'm saying? Then we got them. 10, 20, 30. All blue. Blue King.
Oh, that's Breach though. You got Breach.
Blue
Who is this nigga?
Here, man, you know what I'm saying? We ride around with 100. We ride around like that. Naturally. I'm going straight to hearing.
This is like a Drewski skit. That nigga in the back, dick ride.
I'm going to hearing and I'm getting laid. Oh, it was another. Oh, damn. There was another. We forget about money. I am the great one.
At every turn, these stories depict Roc Nation as a company who are capable of pulling off shady maneuvers, and sometimes rappers catch them in the act just in time. According to La Russell, they tried to pull a slick move on him, and he was incredibly lucky that he noticed before he put the pen to paper.
Roc Nation, man, they just did some funny shit. They sent me an offer, and the first one was the terms, but then it had no money attached to it. It was just a $15,000 discretionary fund. You're gonna deliver these projects under these terms, 10% 360, $15K discretionary fund, that's yours. I went to the office, they like, what you think? What you gonna do? And I'm like, bruh, where's the money? Like, where the numbers?
You better get that nigga
like,
15K?
what you mean? And I'm like, bro, it's only 15K. And he's like, oh, no, this ain't it. He makes a call. He's like, yo, it ain't no numbers on the offer. They sent a new offer in like 30 seconds. The new offer was much larger, but by that time I was turned off. If I would have signed this 15K, would you have told me you made a mistake and then you made a $750,000 mistake? I don't want to do business with niggas who make mistakes that big. You gonna fuck my business up, right? But I just felt like that was hella slimy and it wasn't a great representation. And that's why I was like, I gotta holla at Hov, cause I got, do you know your niggas moving like this?
Right.
And if you do, I see, it's good. I see you, but I
that
just
nigga Hov a funny ass guy.
While these stories are damning in the face of many rappers who ignored their attempts to sign cause suspicion, there are others who have prospered after turning down Roc Nation. In fact, they seem mindful that they dodged a bullet by managing to avoid signing to the company without sacrificing the relationship with Jay-Z. Mentioned by Jay's longtime friend and collaborator Ty, St. John opened up about why he didn't sign to the company and said that betting on himself was among the best decisions he's ever made.
And by the 36th month, we should have a hit record, right?
Ain't this nigga got beat on by Lil Uzi or some shit? I'm not tripping, right?
Based on the plan.
It was a real plan nowadays. They want you to come in. Ain't no A&R. You gotta come with the
You gotta
plan.
know, it's you.
So how you do business with Jay and Roc Nation now?
I didn't. We ain't
Why?
doing nothing.
Why?
It wasn't the right thing at the right time.
Y'all still talk?
Yeah, we all got a great relationship. But why you don't do business with Jay? Like,
I think everybody that you got a great relationship with ain't somebody you got to do business with.
That's true too.
And sometimes you just
and
wait
it's
on
timing too, though.
The timing is the most important thing. Yeah. Because at the time, Tata was like, "Yo, whatever you want to do, we want to do. So if you want to do management, we're down to do management. You want to do publishing? We want to do publishing. You want to do sign to the label? We can do that." I said, "Look, I'm be honest with you. I don't want to do nothing. I want to do it myself." I said that and I meant it. I'm like, I just want to do it myself. It's cool.
Now, he's doing his thing and even squashed his beef with Roc Nation signee Lil Uzi, which resulted in a fight at a diner over a girl at this year's star-studded brunch. Another prime example of using Roc Nation on your terms is Tyler, the Creator. Long before they ever collabed on biking alongside Frank Ocean, the Odd Future leader was summoned to Hov's home where he tried to blindside him with a deal, but instead he chose to keep control over his career.
That nigga invited us to one of his LA homes. We ate some tacos and he wanted to sign us. It was crazy. A lot of people were just interested and was like, yo, let's try to do something, da-da-da. But like, I'm like, I don't know, nah. I just want creative control and then do everything.
After he came forward with this story, people were very happy that he made the call. Very good move for Tyler. But that wasn't the end of their interactions, and in the years since, he's taken Jay's help on his terms.
Going to that man's house is just enough to just be like, oh, you could do this. You could like be a fuck up, figure it out, be good, be great, and do this. And like, bro, that man's what, 51? Bro, he has the spirit of an excited 16-year-old at basketball camp. Seriously, like
about everything?
He's just fun and like, he's ageless. Like, I don't know how to explain it. That man is,
I know he's dialed into everything. I know he really loves the culture, like, constantly.
Bro, he's a geek, and that's why geeks are so important.
When it comes to Roc Nation, it seems like this may be the best way to operate, because sometimes you sign with them and you still don't get what you want. Just look at Lil Wayne. Back when Weezy was struggling with Cash Money, Roc Nation and Tidal assisted in the release of the Free Weezy album. Wayne appreciated this immensely, and he even pledged allegiance to the team in 2017 during a show in Pennsylvania. But even after doing all of that, he was still denied what he truly desired, and that was the Super Bowl. It's been one of the biggest stories of this year, with people wondering what happened to make Jay-Z skip over Wayne.
That nigga Wayne performs so ass. That's what it is. It's not skipping over that nigga. That nigga Wayne cannot perform. He got all the music to be able to perform, but he cannot perform. He has no stage presence, nigga. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I probably got more stage presence than that nigga, and I never perform, nigga. That's the crazy part.
Getting his wish to perform in his hometown in favor of Kendrick Lamar. And if you want to find out more about that whole situation,
nigga got the stage presence of a Tyler, bro. W-Vid though, Indian nigga, good W-Vid, bro.